So in Victoria, I run a youth outreach program through spoken word poetry, and get to go in high schools and do workshops, and also put on an event called Victoria's Voices, which is our high school poetry slam championships. It's the best part of my year, the most inspiring thing that I get to be a part of, and this is inspired by some of the amazing, courageous young people who have shared themselves on that stage.
Oh, yeah.
This is for Simon, who picks up a spray can instead of a knife, who writes his assumed name across bus stops and billboards just to remind himself that he's still alive, still here, so he can stare silence in the eye every time someone walks by and doesn't realize that he's barely holding on. That us humans are created so fragile, so tactile, so pure, like how the right touch can leave you high, or the wrong one can bruise you so deeply. This is for Sarah, who calls out her teachers, her parents, her government, who feels so much like life is all electric fingernails, and each day is another chalkboard trigger. She's developed a keen sense of justice too early for the comfort of those trying to raise her. Thankfully, she's already rising, despite a generation of pressure, a government that sometimes views her education as a tool of oppression, of second-guessing herself into the corner. This is for the quiet kid. The one in the back of the class you never heard speak until he came to poetry club and did a poem about how he was abused as a child. How everything shifted as soon as he said it. The whole room fell silent. But not the suffocating kind of silence he was used to. No, he felt power in his voice for the first time. Like Simon, writing his name over and over again across the city just so he doesn't disappear completely. Like Sarah, calling out her 16-year-old classmate for the sexist joke he learned from his father. Like the story told that you forget, except the feeling it left, like you no longer need to run away from yourself just to survive. And these are the stories of a generation coming alive. And so this is for any of you who get up on this stage.
Yes.
And for any of you that don't know yet that your stories need to be heard, that your voices need to be heard. Because these stories, these voices, they rise from the silence in defiance of the din of apathy, out of the dens of video games and reality TV. They are real, raw, and glorious. And yes, they are our voices, and they will